And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akugha. We begin today's package with an update on the fight against the novel coronavirus disease in BAYELSA and Cross River State, where the government and concerned corporate citizens are intensifying efforts to keep the pandemic at bay. Next in our lineup is a special report on the ripples generated by the ongoing forensic audit of the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC in Nigeria's oil-rich region. And finally, in today's package, we bring you the people's reaction on the circumstances surrounding the death of billionaire businessman and politician Pastor KENIEBI OKOKO, who passed away recently while undergoing a liposuction surgery in a Lagos hospital. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region will be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. For state governments in the Niger Delta and their counterparts across the globe, the fear of COVID-19 is the beginning of wisdom. In this report, correspondent Chika Boduzie takes a look at measures so far taken in BAYELSA and Cross River State to contain the virus and mitigate the economic impacts of the nationwide COVID-19 lockdown.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19 in the country, Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade has been at the vanguard of sensitization campaigns to check the spread of coronavirus to the state. While the governor appears adamant to enforce a total lockdown in the state, he has taken it upon himself to enlighten Cross Riverians on measures to be taken to prevent the spread of the virus in his domain. In anticipation of a looming hunger pandemic in the aftermath of the COVID-19 scourge across the country, the Cross River State government is embarking on an agricultural scheme to boost food production. To this end, it has acquired state-of-the-art equipment for mechanized farming, as well as rice seedlings to be distributed to neighboring states.
By the time people are released back into the streets, the demand coefficient for food will be on the increase. And if that happens without a corresponding production to meet the demand, we definitely will have a famine to confront with. Therefore, in dealing a great blow on famine and the potential scarcity that will come, Cross River State government is remaining with hands-on, forging ahead with land clearing and land preparation works. Take note that these equipments are not for road construction. These equipments are basically for agricultural land clearing and land preparation services, providing this service for all the young people who are taking into agriculture, ensuring that even as coronavirus is stressing the whole country, but agriculture should not be compromised. Food production should not be compromised. That's why I'm out here in hot day sun with my sweet wife, working very hard together to ensure that we inspect all the farms they are to go to. The seedlings that we're going to be releasing today will go to Kogi and Anambra states, and we're also following up with equipment to support them in the planting process. So we're going to load transplanters and ship to them, where this equipment moves to the farmlands, to the hinterlands, to start the cultivation for the next planting season.
In spite of his efforts to contain the spread of COVID-19, which is on the rise across the borders of Cross River State, Governor Ayade laments that his government is yet to get any form of support from the federal government.
Federal government has done nothing to Cross River State, and we watch and see how we are approaching a near state of disaster. With Cameroon having over 1,000 cases and still rising, sharing a direct border with some cultural affinity with Cross River State, sharing markets and sharing town locations, sharing business centers together. Definitely, if anything goes wrong in Cross River State, nobody should hold me responsible. I have done my best, but we cannot continue to keep traditional rulers, paramount rulers, vigilante groups, commissioners, special advisors, special assistants, top government functionaries sleep night and day in this border without federal government coming to our rescue. Please take note. Not every state requires ventilator. Not every state requires isolation center. We have no case. The emergency we have at hand now is to secure our borders.
In neighboring BAYELSA State, Governor JITTERY has enforced a total lockdown of the state to keep it safe from the coronavirus pandemic. The governor, while assessing public compliance with his stay-at-home order, recently explained that it was a hard decision taken to protect lives in BAYELSA State.
Nobody comes into BAYELSA, nobody leaves BAYELSA. We have blocked our boundaries to River States and to Delta. For your own health, stay where you are for now.
Inside the Niger Delta.
In response to the economic hardship occasioned by the COVID-19 lockdown, the AITEO Group, an exploration and production company operating in oil mining lease OML 29, recently donated food items to its host communities. Leaders of the benefiting communities, while taking delivery of the food supplies, lauded the NNPC AITEO joint venture for identifying with them in difficult times. Correspondent Chika Bodozie has more.
Coastal communities of NEMBE Kingdom and their immediate neighbors in OML 29 recently heaved a sigh of relief from the economic hardship caused by a total lockdown of BAYELSA State, which is being enforced as part of measures to contain the spread of coronavirus disease. Thanks to the intervention of AITEO Eastern Exploration and Production Company, through which assorted food items have been distributed to its host communities in BAYELSA State. According to the company, the donation was made as part of its corporate social responsibility to its host communities.
Management has deemed it fit in line with what is happening all over. There is hardship all over in the land. So these communities, these commodities, these items have been brought. We feel the pain the community is going through. So these items have been brought for the community. And we pray earnestly that it will get to every household in NEMBE Kingdom.
There is lockdown everywhere, no movements, food scarce, the rest. But at the end of the day, I think we're able to remember the host communities and bringing these items to relieve us. We really appreciate. We pray that AITEO should do more so that our life being should be improved.
No fewer than 9 host communities of AITEO benefited from the company's COVID-19 intervention.
We believe that when the body is healthy, then we may be free from certain problems, especially diseases that will take us unawares. Remembering us in our time of need is something we appreciate very much. So we are very, very grateful.
I want to appreciate the effort of AITEO. We believe that this kind of relationship will continue after now, and we look forward for better community and corporate relationship. But we appreciate what we have seen here, and this will bring a kind of relief to our people. And I believe with this support, I believe we will be able to sustain ourselves for some period.
With the cost of living on a steady increase in the littoral communities, the intervention by AITEO is timely and most welcome.
We appreciate their coming to us to relieve us from food and other things, because cost of living is very high. How can somebody buy one rubber of garri 2,000 because of the lockup? It's very hard for the poor, the needy. But today as they came, we pray that they should do more. And we pray that they should strengthen us remember the community, the host communities, so that we always be in support of them.
If they are not good with us, we are not going to see this. But the little we have seen, we know that definitely they have us in their heart. May be the management and all ITEO group be blessed for what they have done. We, NEMBE Kingdom, will also be in our own accordance to work with them, not to destroy any of their facility or go against their wish, but let them also try to come to our hands.
In appreciation of the COVID-19 intervention, host communities in OML 29 have promised to sustain a symbiotic relationship with ITEO Eastern Exploration and Production Company.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The forensic audit on activities of the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC commences officially with the recent handover of documents of verified projects across the region to lead consultants in the ongoing exercise. Acting Managing Director of the NDDC, Professor Kemebradukumo Ponde, who personally handed over the documents to the auditors, promised to cooperate with them to bring the process to a logical conclusion. Correspondent KENIEBI has details.
Following allegations of corruption and poor service delivery by the NDDC, President Muhammadu Buhari in October 2019 ordered a forensic audit of the Commission's activities from its inception in 2001 to August 2019. Although the NDDC probe was instituted to revamp an ailing commission, some powerful forces vehemently opposed to reforms in the system have since launched a campaign to discredit the process. While handing over documents containing about 8,000 verified projects across the Niger Delta to forensic auditors recently in Port Harcourt, Professor Ponde described activities of anti-probe elements as a distraction. He, however, stated his commitment to the success of the ongoing forensic audit.
Since the forensic audit was announced, the attacks on the Interim Management Committee and the Honorable Minister has reached a fever pitch. Those who took part in the grand conspiracy to loot the Commonwealth at JITTERY, that their misdeeds will come to light. We wish we could sympathize with them, but it will not occur to them that a day of reckoning will come. The fear of the impunity of their past misdeeds being brought to light is causing panic. In fact, the vultures are shivering. Let us place on record that no amount of intimidation, campaign of falsehoods and breakdancing will abort this exercise.
It will be recalled that President Buhari, while reactivating the NDDC Advisory Committee in March this year, confirmed that some directors and contractors of the commission had voluntarily refunded over 3.7 billion naira as well as properties worth over billions of naira to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. However, recalcitrant looters in the system may have vowed to resist moves to sanitize the NDDC as they intensify media propaganda against the forensic audit process and the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, whose ministry supervises the NDDC. On several occasions, Senator Akpabio has maintained that he is only paying the price of overseeing a process aimed at weeding out systemic corruption in the NDDC.
The story of the NDDC in the last 19 years had not been so rosy. The NDDC, we believe, could have done more. So you have a stunted child who probably would have been a 6-footer. And then we need to find out the reasons why the child could not grow. Is it that there was no nourishment? Is it that there was no milk? Then the country is looking at the fact that yes, a lot had gone into the Niger Delta Development Commission, but we did not see commensurate outcome from all the expenses that had gone into the commission. I don't say this to deride any particular person. I don't say this in order to bring down anybody. I don't say this because I want to make a political point. I say it from a point of truism. From a point of truism. I'm a Niger Delta, and I believe in Niger Delta. And I believe that God put us in Niger Delta to make a difference. It is my determination to ensure that Mr. President's vision for the Niger Delta is realized in these few years remaining. And we are in a hurry. They say anybody who starts a race late must learn to run faster than others in order to catch up. Mr. President's thinking, in line with mine, is that at the end we'll have a governance structure that will run on a roller coaster and allow the NDDC to drive itself and achieve something. For me, so far it has been an ATM and a cesspool of corruption. I've always said that, and even the workers there will agree with what I've said. There's nobody in Niger Delta who will say that the NDDC could not have been better. We can't allow things to go the way they are going.
In the meantime, the NDDC has responded to spurious online reports alleging financial impropriety by the Professor Pondey-led Interim Management Committee. In recent weeks, one of such reports has been circulating a contract award letter for the procurement of personal protective equipment to check the spread of COVID-19. The report has it that the contract was awarded to one Signora Concept Services Limited at a cost of 5.5 billion naira. It is also alleged in another report that the present NDDC management has paid out huge sums for contracts to supply kits and drugs for the prevention of Lassa fever. In its reaction to the fictitious report, the company has stated clearly that the purported contract is a figment of its author's imagination. According to the company, it was awarded a contract to procure Lassa fever kits by the NDDC under the administration of former acting managing director Professor Nelson Brambayefa, and has never been awarded any contract by the present Interim Management Committee. The reaction of the NDDC to the false reports on the award of phantom contracts corroborates the company's position. In a press statement signed by the Commission's Director of Corporate Affairs, Charles Odili, it was observed that the last contract for the procurement of Lassa fever kits was awarded on April 16, 2019. It was further observed in the statement that with a presidential approval, the NDDC has disbursed 775 million naira to assist Niger Delta states in the fight against the novel coronavirus and has equally disbursed 270 million naira as palliatives to youths, women and physically challenged persons across the 27 senatorial districts of the region. The NDDC, under the leadership of Professor KENIEBI Pondey, has dismissed the malicious report as the creation of detractors of a restructured NDDC and their agents who will soon be caught by the long arm of the law. For his part, lead consultant in the ongoing forensic audit of the NDDC, Kabiru Ahmed, has promised a thorough investigation into the status of all NDDC projects in 18 years of its existence in the Niger Delta.
The forensic audit, therefore, should be seen as an opportunity and not a witch hunt. It is an important process that will, apart from righting the wrongs that kept this region in fury and underdevelopment, it will at the end provide a strong base upon which the new Niger Delta Development Commission will be built. It is our belief that at the end of the forensic audit exercise in 9 months' time, a new development agency will eventually emerge, which will provide opportunities for the majority of the people of this region.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, through his actions and utterances, leaves no one in doubt that the forensic audit of the NDDC has come to stay, despite ongoing efforts by fifth columnists to have it dead on arrival. The audit process is expected to be concluded in 9 months and midwife a restructured NDDC that is truly committed to deliver on its mandate as an intervention agency in the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta.
I'm 10 years Jack Rich, so I can run outside, and I approve this message.
Everybody wash your hands well, with soap and water, well, make we use sanitizer, and stay for our house, Engineer Jack Rich say, make we support the government to fight coronavirus to stay alive. My people, corona Coronavirus no be scam o. Anybody fit get am. Make we stay safe, avoid crowd, wash our hand for at least 20 seconds for water where they run. Make we no near each other too much. If your body or any person body around you they overhot, they cough anyhow or no they breathe normal, make una rush to the nearest health center for checkup. Make we no fear, because fear fit make our body weak to fight against this virus. Stay safe. Second one house, engineer Jack Rich, so make we fight coronavirus to stay alive. Oh. This message now from engineer Jack Rich Jr., Second Ruwan Hausa, president and founder, Belema Oil.
For the Ijaw Nation and the rest of the Niger Delta, the untimely demise of billionaire businessman Pastor KENIEBI OKOKO has caused a great pain that will take a long time to heal. Consequently, friends and associates of the deceased who passed away recently while undergoing a cosmetic surgery in a Lagos hospital are calling for a proper investigation into the actual cause of his death. Correspondent Lovely Ofigo completes the story.
Pastor KENIEBI OKOKO, a successful businessman and former governorship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in BAYELSA State, passed away on Tuesday, 15th April 2020. OKOKO reportedly breathed last while undergoing a poorly managed liposuction surgery at a private hospital in the Lekki area of Lagos State.
That doctor can be held responsible. From the records available to us, that this man, his licenses have been withdrawn from him abroad. In short, they have also asked him not to operate again. But he ran down to Nigeria, all comers affair. We feel so pained. We feel so pained that this young man, a very promising young man, could just die out of one's carelessness. There must be an inquest.
For NMDC, there should be due diligence when specialists appear to register, especially returning specialists. There should be effort should be made to reach out to the licensing bodies overseas and to be certain of their status before we allow them practice. All doctors must learn from this. Life is sacred and it takes little to lose life. So if you want to run a clinic, you run a standard clinic that has all you need in terms of skill and technical support to save life. If you find you don't have that capacity, there's no point opening that hospital. Don't have a death trap and get Nigerians believe and come there and you kill them and you make excuses.
Only few days before he passed away, the deceased, who was beginning to take interest in the welfare of his people, had made a generous donation of food items to his native Obunawa community in Yenagwa local government area of Bayelsa State. It was part of his contribution to alleviate the economic hardship faced by his people as a result of the COVID-19 lockdown.
Members of my community, we want to say it is a big shock, a big blow to the Bahrain Kingdom and in particular Obunawa community. Now that the man just started, showing interest on his people. Even recently, we spoke over some gifts he sent to the community on this COVID-19. And he was about doing more. It was about extending the same philanthropic nature to the entire kingdom. I'm short of words to express our present status. I'm short of words. But however, there is nothing I can say as the primary ruler than to encourage my people to forge ahead.
Until his demise, KENIEBI OKOKO successfully ran a conglomerate with interest in construction and oil and gas. After bagging a first degree in economics at the University of Port Harcourt, he obtained a master's degree in political science from same institution. Desirous of improving himself to excel in the corporate world, OKOKO had enrolled in the prestigious Harvard Business School. At 42, he was an accomplished businessman with great prospects in political leadership. As he embarks on a journey of no return, OKOKO will forever be remembered for his commitment to the welfare of his people. He was particularly concerned about improving maternal and infant health care in the Niger Delta.
2017, UNICEF came up with a report and Nigeria was ranked number 6 for under 5 mortality rate, which is quite on the high side. We should create programs to educate these women, to encourage these women, to tell them the reasons why they need to go to the hospital. And we should also try and have government hospitals try and subsidize some of these medications. And well-meaning Nigerians that can afford to do pro bono work to the communities should do that. Encourage the women to come out in mass and go to these hospitals to be checked.
In KENIEBI, OKOKO, the Ijaw Nation and its neighbors in the Niger Delta have lost an illustrious son who dedicated his life to the service of God and humanity. His sudden exit is indeed a great loss, particularly for his immediate and extended families.
Inside the Niger Delta.
And with that report, we'll draw the curtain on the program. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. Until next week, remember to wash your hands regularly, maintain proper hygiene, and keep safe social distance to avoid spreading the COVID-19 disease. My name is Mamode Akugha. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.